from. So yes, we are currently in the pre-show, everybody. So hello and welcome. We're going to be doing this for maybe about 20 minutes, waiting for everybody to come through here, and then we will get us started with the official real show. So, yes, we are currently in the pre-show, everybody.
Damn.
You got to turn off the stream. Can't watch the stream and be on the show at the same time.
Yeah.
No. I had it muted and unmuted itself.
I gotcha. They tricked you. Alright, so the show is definitely live here. So, hello everybody. Welcome. This is the pre-show for live Feature Rant. We have a couple awesome people here. We have, of course, Adam on screen right. He's been hanging around here for a little bit. And we have Daddio66 over on screen left here. And you've been doing some stuff recently, rebranding your channel and your streaming and stuff recently, I hear. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Because I've been kind of interested.
Well, Daddio, I go by Daddio. 66 was the year I was born. Route 66 is a great road to drive on, and I've driven on it myself. And since I'm sort of like the historic nut, nostalgia, I figured let me bring in the two together. So I just started rebranding it as Daddio66 with the Route 66 sign with my name on it, and going on from there.
Cool deal. Nice. So, yeah, because I saw the change to the sign recently. Getting a little bit of feedback over on your site, Adam. Man, there's so many awesome people in chat here. I'm so glad that we were able to get the raid from the workshop show. I love watching that show. Jeff and Rosie and Dexella and Omid. It's always great. And then before that, of course, the Landmark Live show. I take giant page thing of notes just on whatever they talk about there. Fun stuff.
Am I better for you now?
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
So
excellent. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I see. I'm seeing. Looks like Dexella snuck in on Omid's chat.
Oh, looks like the follower alerts, they're going off, but it's not showing. Now it should be showing. There we go. Thank you, everybody who's following here. I am going to have to list off all these names because we got a lot of them here. Chieftain UK, Hero Strasis Beta, Stoic Gaming, Pie Wing. I love that Pie Wing. That is an awesome. I want to eat a Pie Wing. Adam, I bet you've seen a Pie Wing at some point with all of your toy stuff, huh? X Connor Dukings X. Nice Noggin. Nah, that's a nice one. It's GNEISS. Nice Noggin. Wonderful. Tom Olson, Victor Magnus, Zell458, Dolgan DeReal, K-Dance, Kolgotha, Darka, Jalissa, Norath Reborn, Audi Games, Screw Plays, and it's gonna keep on going here for a little bit, folks. Wizard Mythman, Wizard Mythman. I butchered that one. Alright, thank you everybody. Mr. Math.
While I know we got Dex here, I should go dig up my thread. I'm always complaining no one's ever commented on.
Which one?
The one about the entertainer mods.
Oh yeah, that's right. Nashton.
This is important.
Rack, Puddle.
Like, this is so important to me. You don't even understand, man.
Nasguard. Alright, so I could definitely just sit here reading names for a while, and as much as I'd love to do that, I'm sure there's more enjoyable things we can kind of chat about here while we
thank you
wait
folks
before
for
we
coming over. Thank you to Omid for being nice enough to give us a shout out. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Omid and Dexella, and
yeah,
honestly, it's just such an honor to get rated by the show there. In fact, I got rated by Daddio the other day too, and I keep forgetting to thank you for that. So I really do appreciate that. That was I feel like that was almost last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, delayed.
Okay, Dexella, this is important to me, and I have desperately been trying to get somebody over there at SOE to acknowledge this idea. So there you go. I've officially done my hardcore. Please look at this. Thank you.
Cool.
Primarily because it brings a whole nother level of player to the game that normally wouldn't give MMOs and adventure games a try. And I've seen really quality players come into MMOs because of this kind of gameplay and become adventurers later on in life in the game. So it's cool. It's a social dynamic I think is missing from a lot of games. So
Yeah.
there you go. Thank you.
I mean, I just think about the bard from Final Fantasy II. He was terrible in combat, but oh my goodness, all the drama around that character was just hilarious. And of course, the localized comment, "spoony bard" as an insult, has lasted through the years from that. Daddio, so I'm probably gonna save it for the show, but I was wondering, are you much of like a classic JRPG player at all, or not much?
Let's see, from first edition, D&D, GURPS, you name it, way back when. But RPG is video games anymore, not tabletop games these days. So.
Right. Well, I mean, there are still a lot of cool tabletop games.
Oh yeah, I mean, I used to be involved with the SEC as well, so I used to get dressed up in the armor and go to all the Ren fairs and beat the hell out of each other with rattan swords and all that good stuff. So
Nice. Very cool.
I think they call it LARPing, right?
Yeah, and that's the live action role play. Well, that's if there's actually a rule, like the rules and actual role play elements, if I'm not mistaken. If you're just going out there and whacking each other with swords and using the point system or the hit system or whatever, hitting the leg, can't use it, hitting both legs, you're stopped, or you're dead.
The SCA, we used to have a different rule. You got whacked quite a few times, and when you felt it, you went.
Tell you what, while you guys chat, I'm going to take care of the kitty so she behaves during the show.
Sure.
You got it. Okay, so that was the. Whoops! I don't know why that came up. But yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. I had looked into that before. So you're and yeah, Amtgard's another one. There's very few of those groups out there because there don't need to be that many. There's like the difference of rule sets, it seems like, from one to the other, but they all seem pretty high quality. All the different anachronism groups and just combat fighting, sword fighting stuff in general. That always brings me to the Dog Brothers, because they do stuff a little bit different. They go, plus or minus full contact. All they're really wearing is basically like a fencing mask, and they're getting at each other with Cali sticks, Screama sticks. So it's basically until someone gives up, and concussions do happen and all that sort of stuff. But man, the speed they're actually fighting at is insane. Like those blows are fast as lightning. I am not kidding. They are freaking super fast out there. It's just because, I mean, the style itself, you just flow with the attacks. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we used to do a little bit of fencing in the SCA. It came out a couple of years after I was in it, using the life steal and stuff like that. It was rather fun because then that's when they started introducing different ranks. Like you became a Don, you were an instructor, and so on. But it was a lot of fun, and people still have tons of fun with it. If you go to any of the Ren fairs, I'm not sure how many Southern California Ren fairs there are, but I know that we get every October by us in Pennsylvania and New York. We get them, so
we get tons
nice
of
to check
them.
Out.
we have so many Ren fairs that we've got the various offshoots that are specific, and lots of them. Like we have specific pirate Ren fair sorts of things, and they're just the pirate themed stuff. It's for the period, but that's how you're supposed to dress and act, or what you're to expect there. There's definitely the Ren fairs, the big one that they have in what is it, like near Irvine or something now in SoCal area, and that's kind of where the big one I used to go to moved to, and don't really go there as much because it's freaking long ass drive, and it used to be a little bit better. I remember when I was going as a kid, they were like really strict about keeping everybody in costume and everybody speaking with the voices, and over time it got a little bit more lax with that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think as the crowd grew bigger, they had to relax it a bit so more people get involved. So that's with anything.
Yeah, I could see that, because I like the amount of vendors and stuff, and the variety is definitely increased over the year, and the kind of stuff that you'll be seeing. Hey, it's Omid. Hey, Omid, how's it going?
Welcome, Omid.
I bet he finally had to wrestle the device away from Dexella there. Looking at all of the interesting stories he has written down. That guy is very entertaining. If you ever check out his shows on Saturdays, I think it's like 4 p.m. Pacific when he usually broadcasts. A lot of entertaining stuff, a lot of interesting things, a lot of giveaways. So, yeah. And, oh yeah, he talks about landmark stuff. Sometimes he can leak details if he gets drunk enough.
Sometimes.
That's how we learned about the feather in a bottle.
Yeah, and the porkless, it was bigger than a bread box.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, and speaking of which, the gem finders are now out. The gem finders brooches. I got the email a little earlier. Haven't sent them out yet, but I have a big ol' list. Let's see, Rave, Adam, DeHoof, Cadavari, Coin and Cleavage, Shadow Spawned, Wick, Vectors NC. I feel like I might have had one more. I'll have to check my logs again. But yeah, a lot of people have already won them. I've still got maybe 12 or so more. Still got a bunch of lunar anklets too. And I'll be doing a giveaway after the show here once we wrap up. This stuff's been fun. Are you in the Insiders program? I can't remember.
Yes, I am.
Cool deal.
So I did get my codes today. I did activate one so I can tell people what they're like and what they're about, and they are awesome.
Nice. That's what I was hoping. It seemed pretty awesome. Like, just the convenience.
Yeah, I mean, you activate it and you got, the time limit is normally 15 seconds, so you can actually see the stuff get to it before it disappears, and you can probably get, I don't know, a vein a minute with this new thing. So
that's awesome.
If it lasts for 60 minutes, you can get 60 different veins.
That is totally awesome. So I can't remember if I showed the stickers I've got going last time. They're still in development, but I've got the gorilla head on the legendary neurotoxin stickers. I'm gonna have these for SOE Live and various other promotional events. Probably isn't very easy to see right now. Whatever. They'll be cooler when they're done and you can see them in person. Labels is actually the person who's helping me out with those.
Labels 2 is a cool guy.
Labels
He is
sticking labels.
Yeah, that's what he does. Like, there's some people they've got a name that sounds like it's something they would do. Like, Buck Bull Stallion isn't actually a bull stallion that bucks. It's a person. But Labels is definitely a guy who makes labels, and he's a professional at it. So it's really, really awesome. I'm really looking forward to him.
Yeah, he's made a batch up for me. He said he mailed them out, I think, yesterday. So I want to thank him every time I see him for the stuff he's doing. It's all out of his generosity without even asking. He's doing this stuff.
Dusk, no, those weren't acid strips. My goodness. I wouldn't put those on stickers. I get all, never mind. The answer is no. But thanks for asking. I suppose that would probably make them more appealing if there were acid strips, if that's what my stickers were.
Oh.
Them kids and their drugs.
Well, you should mention acid. I'm writing about an acid trip right now.
Oh, well then.
Well, not this second. But.
Not the current one he's on.
Yeah.
For the record, I haven't done acid since 95.
95. Yes.
And he still gets flashbacks.
Yep. It's almost 20 years. This is posted. Here's for reference. Oh, yes. The Kerran architecture. Thank you very much, Wick.
Oh yes, is that
So
the screenshot?
yeah, so I will have to keep that link handy so I can post it up again later. Yes, the Kerran architecture. So people have said like kind of Asian-ish, and I'm like, a little bit. It's got the kind of pagoda-ish look to it, but really it makes me feel more like the 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 stonework and stuff makes me feel more European, like Western European.
It's like Oriental meets European. That's
Yeah,
kind of exactly, which is kind of cool, actually. I kind of like it.
I want to say India, maybe,
yeah, a bit of that.
where you had the British people or the British influence with their architecture.
I could see that. I would have to go back and see how much in the pagodas were used and what the actual shapes were. But I definitely, the Southeast Asia for sure used pagodas kind of all across the area. Tibetan, yeah, okay, I could see that. But keep in mind the scale of this. These are giant. This is a big race. These are big cats. Honestly, when I look at this to me, it looks maybe almost still too built up for what I would expect Kerrans would want. I would expect them to, walk outside the building and bam, there's grass. They can do whatever cat things they want or need to do with the grass. They can roll in it. They can eat some grass or whatever. They're big cats.
I think it probably has more to do with the fact that they want something that's just going to be visually more interesting than grass huts.
Right.
Right. Well, no,
they get grass huts in EQ because, they could do grass huts.
That's true.
Now they can do much more. So, I can see why they would want to go with a more developed society. I like it, though. Looks good.
Yeah.
I have no complaints about this.
Well, we'll definitely discuss it a bit later. Daddy, what were you going to say?
Oh, nothing. I was just saying that this EverQuest next will be 400 years prior to EverQuest. So this could be their civilization at the end, as it fell, and EverQuest they have grass the huts. Maybe that's what it fell to. So we'll talk about that during the show.
For sure. Is that really what they've said? Is it officially that at this point they've locked in the lore at that?
That's what I thought I heard. So
because
I don't know if it's official, but that's
because
mentioned somewhere.
I always understood it that there are all three separate universes. That some of the events of EverQuest 1 might have come before or will come after EverQuest Next, but that all three universes kind of are running in parallel, and we're just now getting access to the EverQuest Next version of the universe.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So
you got all those babies created now that during EverQuest years that are now old enough to play RPGs themselves. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was playing Final Fantasy when I was like 7 or 8, I think, and doing pretty well with it. Yeah, had to have been at least by then. No, I was like 6 when I was playing Final Fantasy 1 for the first time. That's right. I was playing that in first grade.
Yeah, it's a complete reboot of the universe. It's not a sequel or a prequel. It's just complete do-over, basically.
Yeah. Some names are the same, some places are the same, some events are the same, but everything's different in a good way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because things are procedural, and we didn't really have as much of that.
We're going on 15, 16 years now, so yeah, it's time. If you want to bring new people to the fold, you can't be like, look at it. Not everyone's interested in the deep dive that is the EverQuest lore. And if you can get them at the beginning, people get much more interested. So, makes sense.
Yeah. All right, so it is just about 6 o'clock here. 6 o'clock Pacific time, I should say. So we shall start up the show just as soon as it clicks over to 6 p.m. I'll start the official verbal intro. I still haven't gotten a visual one going quite yet, but there's something in the works. And it might not be that impressive, but, it might get worked on over time. 9 p.m. Oh, you're on the East Coast, huh? 3 a.m. Nice. Good to see people from all over tuning in. It's awesome. It's I tried to get the broadcast a little bit earlier so that way it could kind of cover all the ranges and demographics and stuff. But I know a lot of people just go straight to sleep after Landmark Live and Workshop. It gets kind of late in some places. But anyway, it is past the time, and I've rambled on for a little moment just to give us a buffer in case we run a little bit long. So it is time to start the show.